Last year, you could ask ChatGPT to write you a blog. It would spit out a blog. Google would read it. You were rewarded for this content because probably you had better grammar than you normally had. But today it's different. This AI generated content doesn't play. And as we end up here in the end of 2025, going into 2026, AI is changing. AI is changing the way search works. AI is changing how your website needs works. AIs won't just answer the questions, it's predicting on what you're going to want in the future. What it's going to be doing is asking what are your customers asking about before they even ask and get the answers to those. We want to make sure that your website is able to do this, and you need to start it now in 2025 so that as 2026 comes around, you're going to be able to react to these changes and have a website that is able to rank in AI. We recently had a site come to us with their problem, 40% drop in traffic, and the site has dropped pretty quickly in what was going on. They were sending the wrong signals to Google. Google, of course, took away their traffic because the new AI algorithm didn't like what was on their site and they were sending the wrong signals to it. So Google isn't just a search engine anymore. They're also an AI engine. People are going to ChatGPT, Perplexity, TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, all of these locations to find out information about products, about services, about where to have dinner on a Friday night. So you need to make sure that your website is able to be the answer engine to feed into these LLMs. And it's not just how Google reads your site today, that has also changed. So structured data is something we're going to talk about here and get into about how to make sure that you're ranking for it. But structured data is just not enough. You have to be speaking the right language. But if you do all of these, you will be rewarded by all the different LLMs and Google as well. Why is traditional SEO failing? That's a big question we get all the time. You're probably optimized for how Google was back in the SEO, SEM, those type of results. You're not just looking at your SERPs, which is a search engine results anymore. You're looking at the AI results. So 0 clicks are coming from Google if they're serving up the answer to the question. And if you're not in those answers, then the results below are getting next to no clicks. A lot of people are saying we have structured data, and I have clients like this as well. Yes, you've got your structured data. You have done a good job of getting the structured data, but there's other element to it. So that structured data, kudos. Good point. You have, that's a very good piece to it. We now need to build entity relationships. I'm going to explain a lot of what I mean about that. It's not just a schema. Think about your entity relationships. So a lot of people say we publish content because we're going in and we're updating these listing pages or these different pages every single day. Sounds great, but what you got to watch is a lot of these pages look and sound a lot like a robot wrote them because, hate to say it, a lot of you are using it to do it. I know in my own writing, I'm starting to write results in emails because I've used AI so much. I'm starting to write like ChatGPT. I sent a bullet list the other day that wasn't generated by ChatGPT, and it's because ChatGPT bullets everything like that. So my response was bulleted like that. Watch that, keep a natural read to it. The AI engines want that natural sounding content. And the other thing that we hear from people, we're on social media. I hear that all the time, which, yes, we're posting once a week to Facebook and we're not getting the results that we expect. No, you need to not just be on a platform, you need to be on the platforms that matter. And you need to be more consistent, more frequent. So you need to broadcast natively to those platforms. When I post on LinkedIn, and I was going over my marketing team today, one of my posts on LinkedIn is at 25,000 impressions. Did well because I spoke in the language of what LinkedIn is looking for. That same post over on Facebook probably would have gotten 500 impressions. So you have to speak in the language and for the market that social media is looking for. You need to look at your whole content strategy and think about the 7 platforms that your customers are using. That's how I look at it. So our marketing teams here, which are just internal to us, but are doing a pretty good job at it, are looking at the different platforms that people use. And we know that AI is acting as a middleman. So in the case of Google acting as a middleman or ChatGPT, you want to make sure that those arbitrageurs of traffic are reading your content and getting you exactly what you need. So now what I'm going to do is give you some real world examples here. Here's a fictional case study based off of real websites out there. This is going to be a fictional website called the Texas Apartment Hunter. So this is what, if you were the Texas Apartment Hunter, you would want to do in 2025, late 26, to be prepared for 2027. The old play, it'd just be an apartment listing site that had all the apartments in Dallas. Worked great back in 2019, probably got lots of traffic by doing that. The reality, 40% of that traffic has gone away, as we were talking about before. ChatGPT is going to now recommend Zillow and apartments.com instead of your website. So now you got to elevate the apartment hunter site to get that type of traffic back. So the niche is going to be very important here. Make sure that you're doing data-driven content going in that matches renters with all the things that they also need for move-in. That's not just going to be what apartment, but your utility setup, your renter's insurance, local services, where to go eat, if you're coming into town, where you can stay for the night when you're looking at different apartments. This type of data in either blog or structured data, just in answer format on your website, is going to be very important. So what I'm about to give you right now is going to be a 5-step solution. So think of this as not A, B, C, it's layers. So if this were a cake, you're going to build off of your base foundation and build it up. These are your 5 layers to get you the best results. Your big thing to remember here is we are building these layers, and your first foundational layer is going to be about the customer, not the platform. So we're going to focus that foundational layer, the most important one, on the customer. So start with the customer intent. What do they need to know before, during, and after the transaction? So we're not trying to just capture this thing that have them fill out an information form and maybe book a view. We want to now expand that life cycle out and get that full interaction, because that's what is going to be needed. And also it's going to make our customers to us more value. And let's map out the journey. So this person is not coming to your website as their first step. It's probably coming to your website after a discovery step. So they're going to discover apartments and your website out on TikTok. Then they're going to do some research and look at the YouTube videos that you have out there. Then it comes to the decision layer, which is where they go to ChatGPT, feed in the results, and hopefully get your site and your content coming through there. And then because you had them register and put information in on your website as part of that step, that's where loyalty comes in. So email, message, SMS to keep them after that transaction, or hold their hand during it, but have that hook that keeps that customer more loyal to you, your brand, and can make this a longer engagement. So the next piece to it is going to be looking at what is out on the horizon. So today, everything we are focused on is web and phone and mobile first. In the future, VR headsets is how you're going to tour your apartment. But there's a number of things that we see on the horizon, and building these great foundations are going to be the best foundation for your website. In the previous section, we talked a little bit about that entity-based identity, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Think of your brand as a Wikipedia page. Clearly defines who you are, what you do, where you do it. AI doesn't rank on keywords like we used to do in SEO and SEM. It ranks on the connections and how it can connect different entities. So you want to link everything with a constant message. So this means you're going to have your Wikipedia page, your Crunchbase page, your LinkedIn page, your website, your YouTube, your local chamber of commerce. You're going to come up with a consistent name, address, phone number, POV. So that information that you write it once, use it many times, use it consistently. You don't want to be showing up as one name in one medium, one name in another, and not have it consistent, because you need that entity descriptive, that metadata, be consistent so that the AI algorithms can link them all together and have your content linked to you and give you that traffic. A quick example here. The Texas Apartment Hunter is a apartment matching service in Dallas-Fort Worth, founded by Eric Garrison, specializing in first-time renters. The Wikipedia page is going to have that exact same phrase on it. It's going to have it on YouTube, it's going to have it on LinkedIn, and it's going to have it on the local area chambers of commerce. So that is what's going to give us that great foundation now to build the next layer, which is native content per platform. So this is layer 3. We got the customer, we got our POV, and now we have the native content per platform. So here's what I want you to do. On YouTube, produce videos like this. There's a purpose why we do these. These are great foundation. The ultimate guide to finding your first apartment. That is a great video to have out there. I just did a search on it. I'm surprised how there's not one of these posted every single week in every single market. It's definitely a missed opportunity, but there are some out there. Some of them have had great traffic, but this is a long form trust builder. When you've got this type of content, you're building that trust and that hook with the customer. Speaking of hooks, TikTok. TikTok is where you're going to casually hook the people to discover who you are. In there, I'm going to go with a title such as a little more controversial because you want to hook them in and grab them in their stream. 3 apartment red flags brokers won't tell you. Something of that nature would be the video that I put there into TikTok. I'm also going to probably put that into YouTube Shorts. ChatGPT, Perplexity, all the other LLMs. What I'm going to do there is make sure that the structured data on my website around my FAQs has got citations in it if I'm using outside stats. So if I am talking about a major market, I'm talking about a crime rate, or I'm talking about this particular fact of how many restaurants there are, I'm going to reference the citation on this if one's available. It makes me look more authoritative. There's a good chance that you may be outranking whoever published that data because you're taking these techniques and applying good structured data to it. That's going to work out. Then I'm also going to go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great for thought leadership. LinkedIn is a great tool to gather peers and that B2B connection so that somebody, who's coming into a market, who's a hiring manager, they may reference you out to people that they're bringing in and get you that referral without you having to pay for that advertising. But the whole point of this is, and the reason why I started with YouTube is your YouTube video isn't intended to be a standalone asset. It's your mothership type of video, an asset that you put out there. They take longer to produce. They take a lot more production time. They take more effort. But that's what you're trying to drive them back to get that trust level and get them then to your website. I know this is crazy. There's a lot more steps to it, but trust me, these type of steps work great. If AI can't parse your website, you don't exist. That's the big truth bomb of this whole video. If they can't see what's going on in that structured way and efficiently, then they're not going to give you any traffic, any mention, and that's going to kill. So this is why we need to get some great fundamentals. First thing, make sure your pages are 2-second load. If you look at Amazon, all of their pages come in at under 2 seconds. So shorten your pages up. Don't have really long ones. Remember, most people are looking on their phone. So if you're looking at it on desktop and it's this big, that becomes this big on an iPhone. So make sure you keep that nice and concise. Structure data around your FAQs, your reviews, local businesses, how-tos. Have that structured language around it. I'm going to give you a little bit of a technical term here. Your website is going to need JSON LD content. So this is that JSON structure that is going to be inside your page. Your viewers are not going to see it. This sits behind, but it's the key to having the AI be able to read out that content. And you can also put in there metadata that helps connect your brand to this content and to your other assets out in the global sphere of your marketing engine. And make sure that now when you're creating content and putting it in this structured, it's conversational data. You want to have something that is going to make somebody think, it's going to make them go to the next question. You're going to start using the voice of how people are going to talk to a voice assistant to the AI, not keywords. In the old days, it used to be student housing, Austin, Texas. Today, it's going to be best apartment for students in Austin. So that's a big difference right there. But think about how to structure all of this so that your voice queries sounds natural, and that's what you're keying into in your content, as well as what you are putting on the website for that structured data, so that when that happens, you're going to get the traffic for it. There's a lot of engagement signals that you can also add that help this. Engagement signals are things like reviews, comments, and shares. And that can be on different platforms. So you want to make sure that we have a good supply of that content going into the website and being able to drive it. So what I look there is going to be some of the tools that are going to help you get that good structured content as well as monitor. So you want to go into Perplexity, for example, give it the URL and ask it to validate what you think that page should be ranking for, and see if Perplexity says that it would rank it for that. So that is a great way of doing it. The other thing that you need to think about on some of these pages, like your FAQ, don't think of it now as you are creating a page. You are creating a page of FAQs with 10 FAQs structured right are 10 answers now going in. And that's not going to be a dupe content penalty. It's one page, it's one bit of content. But now you're creating, instead of one page of FAQs, think of it as 10 AI searchable answers from one piece of content. So that's going to help compound the elements that you put out there. Okay, now we're on the final layer 5. Your competitors are guessing, you need to be testing. And if you need additional information on how to do this, sorry to throw a plug in there. This is the most impactful piece to it, but you need to also register for our webinar. So a link is down below. We do this, but we do it in an hour format, cover even more content. It's a monthly series that we do. You want to register for that and make sure that you get on that list. This is very good content. I've been advised by multiple people that I should be selling access to that for $1,000. So you might want to go grab onto that before I decide to get smart and charge for that. So now let's go into the testing phase. Track your AI visibility. We talked about using Perplexity. That's a great one. There are other tools out there. Neil Patel with Uber Suggest is developing some tools. We're actually working on some tools. Some well-crafted prompts can be best tailored to what you're doing. I would use an AI to craft my prompt to use AI. Again, Perplexity, Grok, and Google Gemini are some of the better ones because they have more real-time access. ChatGPT lags behind. It's not a great one for that. These are foundational elements that will pay off in 2026, may not pay off as quick as search engine results. Use ChatGPT to reverse engineer what your competitors are doing. So look at the key queries that they're showing up for and see what you can do so that you can look at. A/B test headlines, call to action, and those different platform formats that you're using. So what I mean by that is what visual you're using in Facebook, what visual, because remember, we're tying this all together. It's not just about the web and running a search engine ranking report on there. Those are not as valuable as they were. Traffic is, conversions are still the king, but also your mentions out in the world. Look at a monthly review cycle of what is hitting, what is going on. You want to be able to track and say, hey, we had this work. Double down on what works. That's the biggest thing. If it's something that's not working, kill it. We have video ideas all the time that get 3 views. We have some that I've had some that have 50,000 views. So what you want to do is double down on what works on that platform and keep. So don't change direction every time. Just make sure that you are testing, creating, and if you're not failing and having those things that flop, then you're not doing what you need to be doing in the AI realm, because you want to definitely get those failures out of the way and learn from them. And build trust transparently with your customers. Disclose how you're using their data. If you are doing things like intensive profiling and adding systems that are doing a high amount of tracking, make sure that you let the people know this is why we're doing it. We are putting your data into AI and using it to better tailor your experience. What we're looking at here as a finale is the competitive advantage. The reason why a fictional company, and it is based off of some real experiences, the Texas apartment hunter didn't just chase Google results. They became the go-to answer for apartment hunters across the platforms. ChatGPT helps cite their content out there. They become the clear authority on YouTube. They're posting out there. They have got people giving them thumbs up on their YouTube videos, thanking them. They have people from other countries coming and going, I really enjoyed that video you did on finding the apartment in Austin. My daughter moved into that apartment when she came over from Germany to attend college there. Those are the type things. We're talking about just with one site and what the end-to-end solution that keeps renters loyal in fictional way here. But the key takeaways I would give you is exactly what we would tell that particular client. Pick your three target platforms to start with, expand out to 7. So in this case, I would do TikTok, YouTube, and Reddit for the apartment finder to get started. Build your entity graph and your framework there, that foundation of what is your POV, what's your message, what's that's going to tie it together. Create one piece of pillar content. This is an example of pillar content. This is long form video. This is something that our team here is going to write a blog about. It's going to go on to LinkedIn. It's going to go on to YouTube primary. It's going to have shorts. That is pillar content. You want to create a piece of that, ideally every other week. I know how hard it is to do that. You may only get it to once a month. That's a great start. The people that are really winning are able to create content like this at scale and able to disseminate it in a quicker fashion. So work on getting better at what your content creation is. Headless channels, I would stay away from those. I've experimented, I've looked at that. There's a reason why my face is here on YouTube. It's still about the content and the uniqueness that comes about it. And the final thing I'd ask you to do, one, register for the webinar below, is the first ask. The second ask is, if you have good results, if you enjoy this video, if you want to tell us what you liked about this, what you didn't like about it, I want you to tag hashtag WTE marketing. So it's Whiskey Tango Echo Marketing, and that hashtag is down in the description here. But give us a comment, give us a thumbs up, but put WTE Marketing out on whatever location you are doing. We're going to be monitoring this for the next couple months. When we see this tag, we're going to like your content. We're going to probably follow you. We may even choose to boost your content and spend a few dollars of our money to help you get a little activity there. Again, go ahead and do that. We appreciate everybody here that's on the channel and watching this, and have a good day and good luck with your AI journey in 2026.